Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow community live stream. I'm your host Nelson. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so who's in the live chat today and where are y'all from? I see Zach from the Webflow Las Vegas community. Welcome back, Zach. You're first in the door. Glad to see you with that lightning bolt. You're ready for today's topic. We got Evan in from Qatar. Welcome, Adeyi, and sorry if I say your name wrong. Adeyi says hi, hello. You're joining from Nigeria. Oh, our Nigerian community, Webflow community, is growing a lot. So big ups to you and the rest of the Nigerian Webflow community members. Yeah, I love these growing communities. Paul is from Indiana. We got South Africa here. Matthew. Uh, yes. Alaulu. I think I'm saying your name right. You're from Nigeria as well. Kenya's here. Wow. India. Video production star. Star is a galaxy far, far away. Is that the Andromeda galaxy or something else? How are you getting an internet signal from there in real time? That's amazing. You got to tell me about your technology from there. Mark is here. Lil Pro from South Africa. All right. And Rasmus from Denmark and Sardinia. Peter. Welcome back, Peter. So lovely to have you all. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to you all, not only at the beginning of the stream, but at the end. So Aaron, our wonderful live moderator in the live chat right now, he's going to put up a link to where you can put your name in the ending credit rolls, because we appreciate each and every one of you. So if you can do that for us, please go ahead and do that, Aaron. But yeah, let's get into today's stream. So today we're going to talk about 3 tips on how to use Webflow interactions more effectively. And we're going to go from the easiest tip to a little bit more complicated, all right? So if you're new to Webflow interactions, these are the tips that I would usually tell people when they're first getting into Webflow, okay? And if you've already been using Webflow and Webflow interactions for a long time, I would love to know if there's any tips that you would give the community as well. I would like to learn from you as well, all right? So let's go into our agenda for today. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with the importance of the initial state, and then we're going to talk about CSS or style panel hover versus the Webflow interactions hover trigger. Okay, when do you use either? All right, and what are the pros and cons to either? And then we're going to end it off with reusing interactions. How do you reuse interactions in different ways inside of Webflow? And then lastly, questions, answers. So if you have any questions, I'll go ahead and answer them. Or if you have any projects or websites that you want me to review live on the stream, yeah, I would love to see them. Okay, so go ahead and start queuing up those questions and sites that you want me to review. That's through the link that's pinned at the top of the chat. So fill out that form and Aaron will send it to me at the end of the stream. All right, let's go into our first thing right here. The importance of initial state. Okay, so let me pull up Webflow right here. There we go. All right. Hello, Jordan from Colorado. Hello, Noman from Pakistan. Yes, love that you're all here learning with me. Okay, again, if this is your first time Webflow interactions, this is very, very important. So let's do a thing with this where when the page, when someone first loads this hero text, it does some sort of fade in effect. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the I'm going to click on the element that I want to have the effect on. And then we're going to go in interactions, press plus, scroll into view. And when I scroll into view, I want to create an animation, all right? And so I have this animation here. And let's go ahead and plus to create a new animation. We're going to call it hero reveal, all right? And so with this hero reveal, I can play around with different transforms. I can play around with a couple of different styles, or even the size of hide or hide show. But let's do something very simple. Let's scale it. Okay, so we're gonna scale it to 1.5 or 1.1. Yeah, let's do 1.1. So that means 110% or 10% bigger than what it is. All right. And then let's go ahead and press the plus sign and scale again and set it back down to 1. So it goes from big to small. And let's go ahead and do some sort of opacity so it does that fade in. Okay, so we'll start with the opacity at 0. And then we're going to end the opacity at 100. Okay, so we start from we can't see it to we can see it. All right. So save and preview. All right. So that's how to create a fade in interaction. However, you notice that it has this pulsing effect. Okay. It's doing this pulsing effect, and that's not what we want. We want it to start. We want it to start with this scale and opacity, the scale being 1.1 and the opacity being 0. Well, what it's doing is, because this is not an initial state, because we're not using this right here, this is saying, okay, the initial state is it's being pulled from the styles panel. So whatever it looks like in the styles panel is its initial state. All right. And so I'm going to go from this state into this right here. So it's going to do that pulsing effect. And we don't want that. So that's why initial state for this instance is very important. If I click on one, hold shift, and click on the second, I can go ahead and set both as initial state. And now what this does, it overrides whatever is shown on the styles panel for these two properties, for scale and opacity. So it says, okay, you know what? Ignore the style panel. Let's just pull from whatever is in the interactions timeline. So when I preview, there we go. It doesn't do that pulsing effect. It just goes straight from the initial state and down. So that's one example. Let's do another example with a drop-down menu from a navigator, okay, from a navigation. Let's see here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to edit the navigation, the nav bar, Command E, quick find. And then let's type in drop down. There we go. And for this drop down menu, on this drop down list, I'm going to set the overflow to hidden. And let's go ahead and I'm going to go on this drop down and I'm going to set an interaction to it. So when the drop down opens, I want it to do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal the menu. It's going to slide down like a window blind. All right. So start animation, and then I'm going to press plus and menu reveal or drop down reveal. Okay. And I'm going to target the drop down list, and I'm going to set the size to 0, set the initial state, because I want the initial state to override. So I want this initial state to be 0 when the page first loads. But then I want the size, when the animation happens, I want the size of the height to be auto. So you get this. Awesome, right? Didn't work. Where'd it go? Let's see here. Maybe I have to preview. There it goes. All right, let me show you again. There it is. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and bring this back to, put the window shade back up. And where's the window blinds? No? Shade. Yeah, shade. And let's go ahead and press plus and drop down hide. So I'm going to go to drop down list. Set the size, height to 0, and I don't want any animation for it. I'm just going to set the duration to 0 seconds. And so we have this. open, and then the close resets it. So we're back at 0, and then open. And so it does that. All right. So if I didn't do that initial state, if I remove this initial state, watch what happens. It does that weird thing. We don't want that. Okay. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that happening where it goes up and down. All right. So that's why initial state is very, very important. All right. So let me fix that just to keep my mind at ease. Let's fix that. Set initial state right there. Save. And now we are good to go. Cool. All right. All right. First part is done. Next, CSS hover, or the styles panels hover, versus the hover trigger. All right. Here we go. Wait, I think I see Zach's comment. I've noticed there could be a slight flash on load if the default styles outside of interactions panel don't match the initial state. I try to match them whenever possible. Okay. I'm trying to process that. I'll get to that on the Q&A. All right. I'm back here. And let's do some hover effects. Okay. So I'm going to go here. And let's create a button. I'm going to add a link block. I'm going to give it some text inside. And this link block will have a class of button. And we're going to change this label to buy your Grimmer plushie. We'll have a little caret at the end. And let's push this away. There we go. All right. So here's how to create a style panel hover. All right. Right here, this down arrow, I'm going to click on hover. So these are all the styles applied to it on hover. So we can change this to something like orange. And change this to black. And then there we go. So if I preview, that animation, that hover effect is already happening. Even if I leave preview mode and stay within the designer mode, I can see that hover happening. All right. And so what's good about the styles panel hover is you just get the immediate, oh, okay, that's what's happening. But if I were to do this on, say, for interactions, let's go ahead and make another button. Let me just type in button. And let's do the same thing, but with the interactions. Let me go here, element trigger on hover. Start animation, button, example, hover. I can go ahead and change the background color to orange, or let's do this one. There we go. From there, let's make that the initial, let's make that initial state. Change the background color from blue to, say, purple. Purple? Okay, pink. Sure, why not? And then if I preview, it does that. Let's go ahead and change the font color too, the text color. We go from white, change the text color to black. We press play, and there we go. So if I were to try and hover right now, this one from the style panel works, but this one from the interactions doesn't. All right. And the reason why is because the styles panel is using CSS, whereas the interactions version is using JavaScript. Okay. So when would you actually use the hover effect instead of the styles panel? Like, which one is better? Well, the CSS hover, the styles panel hover, you can change a lot of the properties on hover using the styles panel right here. However, you can only change the properties of itself and any child elements that pulls values from its parent. So as you can see here, this text block is a child of this button. So this button, we're changing those properties to itself. And the reason why this text changes from white to black is because if I click on the text and go to typography, you'll see that this color, it's inheriting its value from its parent, the button. So if I were to change this button color to something else, like let's say red, watch what happens. If I hover over it, the red color of the text doesn't change. So the button can only affect all its children that is inheriting values. All right? Now with interactions, you can force a change by targeting those things. Let's see here. Let me make let's remove that color. And let's do this. I want to move this arrow to the right by 5 pixels when I hover on the button. Now this button, I can't do that on hover with CSS. I have to use interactions because interactions has JavaScript where I can say, hey, if you find any arrows, any child element arrows, move it to the right and then back. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to highlight that arrow, wrap it with a span. I'm going to call it button arrow. Give it display inline. And now with this button, I'm going to add element trigger, mouse hover, start animation, and I'm going to call this, let me delete that one. Let me call this button arrow hover. So I'm selected on the button, but I want to target this button arrow. So by clicking on button arrow, I'm going to do an action where the initial state is set to 0 on the x-axis, but then I want to move that arrow 5 pixels to the right. And let's give that an ease. Press play, and there we go. And now I need to do the opposite for the hover out. So I'm going to start animation. And what I like to do is I like to click on these 3 dots, aka kebab menu, duplicate, and then I'll open that, and we'll call this hover out, delete that end state, and uncheck initial state. So we're back at 0. Give this an ease, and there we go. So I have that moving. So the CSS is doing the color changes to any elements that will inherit its value, but the Webflow interaction hover can move or change style properties to any elements that are children within it. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. So just to summarize, CSS hover button, you can change many properties to itself and child elements, but you cannot change properties of its child elements. And also you can preview your styles, your hover effects without having to go to preview mode. Hover trigger, you can change some of the properties to itself and target child elements. However, you cannot preview those changes or animations without going into preview. All right. Let me know if you have any questions in chat about that. Let's see here. I have some important questions already that came in. Where are the Nelson plushies? Yeah, we got to get on that. McGuire, where's my plushies? People are asking. I don't know. That's kind of weird to have your own plushie. I mean, Grimmer likes his, and it's like, that's cool. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Let's get an Aaron plushie with a, Aaron plushie. That'd be better. Okay. Oh yeah, and by the way, we love that you're all here in the live chat, and so we appreciate each and every one of you, and one way to show that is putting you all in the credits because you're supporting these streams. So Aaron, if you can put a link to where people can put themselves on the ending credits at the end of the stream, please put that in live chat. Thank you. Andrew with a question. Hi guys, I had a question regarding interactions. Well, you came to the right place. If I have an interaction or animation on an element on my page, let's say a heading, how can I quickly copy that animation to other elements on the page, other headings and images, etc.? Aha! Look at that. Look at that. Segue into reusing interactions. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Yeah, let's go back to our button. Let's go back to our button right here. So I'll give you 3 ways. I'll show you 3 ways to reuse interactions. And if I'm missing any other ways to reuse interactions, please let me know in chat if you've been using Webflow Interactions for a long time. But here we go. So whenever you apply an interaction to an element, and there's 2 ways to see if an element has an interaction. So the first one is a lightning bolt in the navigation panel. All right, so hover over it, element has an interaction. Another way is to click on the element and you'll see this green icon right here. That lightning bolt means it has interaction. So here's the first and easiest way to reuse the interaction. I'm going to copy this and paste it. There you go. We've reused the interaction. And what we're reusing is the element trigger. We copied over the element trigger, and the 2 animations. All right. And by the way, shouts out to the Webflow team for this quality of life improvement. You can search for animations if you haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to say hover. Cool. I found all animations that are named hover. Pretty cool. Anyways, lost train of thought. Oh yeah. So we're using the same animation timeline here and here without having to recreate them. So all you have to do is just copy and then paste. And if I preview, that animation is happening on both. Another way is to simply create a component out of this button. So I'm going to right click on the tab and then click on create component. We'll call it primary button. There we go. And back to instance, I'm going to copy this primary button and paste it in here. All right. And we're going to say buy. We can change the label on this and say buy your Zach plushie today. And then, yeah. And so this text, this label doesn't affect this one because it's a component. All right. And so if I preview, all of the styles, all the interactions are copied over. Okay. What else? Oh, yes. And then the last thing is another way. I think it's like one of those kind of hidden things. So let me go ahead and let me edit this real quick. Let me just recreate it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put a link with some text. And let's call this button. There we go. And let's go ahead and say, hello to Ghetto Blues. That's the person I've seen, the last person I see on chat. Let's go and span this and call this button arrow. All right. So what I can also do is right here. Notice how this button doesn't have an interaction. But let me unlink it real quick. But what I can do with this interaction, if I go to this trigger right here, all the way at the very bottom, you might miss it, but this right here, this button is very powerful. So if I click on class, now all elements with this class name of button, wherever it is on the whole site, will have this hover trigger added to it. So if I click on this, notice it now has that lightning bolt. Even though I didn't directly apply it to it, that little button just applies it to all classes with that, all elements with that class. All right. So let's do one more. Let's do one more example. I'm gonna click on project link, and we're gonna do a mouse hover. And on hover, it's going to do a pop. So it's going to do this. All right. And what I can do is, if you see this project name link, it doesn't have an interaction. This project name link doesn't have one. This one doesn't have it. But if I go here to the first one and say all elements with the project name link class, now look, all the project name links have that pop. And so if I preview, it has that pop. All right. Even if I go to another page, that element with that class name already has that interaction applied. All right. So there it is. Those are the 3 tips I would give people when they're first starting to learn Webflow, especially Webflow Interactions. The importance of the importance of the initial state, CSS hover versus Webflow Interactions hover, and then reusing interactions everywhere across the site. Okay, Ghetto Blues. Okay, I'm having the aha moment right now. Yeah, cool. Thanks, you're a G, and that means good. So, yay. Here we go. I see a comment from Daniel saying you can also link multiple changes with interactions with CSS. It's a one-step change. Yes. If they're all using the same class name, they're also doing the same thing. So let's get into our last thing, Q&A. So if you have any questions or comments, whatever, if you're having that aha moment, I would love to see it in the live chat. Go ahead and start putting that in, or submitting your question and website links to the top link that's pinned at the top of the chat. Let's get into it. We have our first one. Let's see here. From Eli. Okay, we have Eli coming in. Let's see here. Would love to hear your feedback on the design and layout. I've used hover animation for the buttons and reusable interactions. Okay, awesome. Let's look. Refresh. Is there any interactions? No. All right, cool. All right. My first thought is, ooh, expensive, luxurious, fancy. I like it. All right, using serif font. And is that, I feel like that's a gradient. Is there a gradient inside of this text? Hold on, I need to see. It's like very subtle. Is there a yeah, there is. You're using the background clip. Here, let me, can I, right there. Okay, yeah, you're using right here. You're using a very subtle little linear gradient and doing a background clip. If I turn this off, that's basically what's happening. But then you clip it. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like it. I see you, Eli. That's nice. Does Eli stand for elite? Okay. Right. Nice. Iconography. Nice. Okay, I could tell that's not a real sign, that it's fake, but still, it's good. I like this lobby feeling. All right. Nice. Yeah, I'm feeling it. This is good. Okay. I was going to say, what does this image have to do with anything? I know it's traveling, but then this came up, and I'm like, okay. All right. Your sliders. Now, I love this fade effect because it shows me that there's more. All right. Nice. Is this splitter? What are you using for this? This is, no, it's a Webflow carousel. Is this, no, it's a Webflow. Wait, how did I get here? Okay, there we go. I scrolled down, that's why. I like this form. I like how this is overlapping. Yeah. Nice. I got nice. I like that drop down. So it's doing that window blinds thing we just did, but also you're doing that fade in with the text. Ah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I got nothing for this. Yeah, okay. All right. I'll challenge you this. I'll challenge you this. I still love like so straight lines. Since this is already good, what if you can take it to the next height? Because it's airplane, anyways. It's these line breaks that are just very like sharp for each section. What if you can make it fade? And I always go back to this old website. Hello Hecko, yeah, they use Webflow. And what if you can do the background transition? Come on. Please load. Please? Connecting. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to show you later after it loads, but I'll just let that load. We're going to go to the next one, and then once the Hello Hecko website loads, I will tell you. But here we go. Next one is from Olamide. I'm so sorry. Kindly give overall review. I will kindly do that because you are kind enough to be here. And there's a loader. Whoa. Okay, let's refresh. Let's refresh. Okay, a seasoned designer and Webflow developer. Okay, it's snowing. Okay, and we have a custom mouse cursor follower thing. All right, like it feels like karaoke or something where you have to sing. I'm Olamide, a seasoned designer and Webflow developer. Da, 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 da. Okay. Sometimes I have a lot of fun. Okay. I approach every project with a strategic mindset and resonates. So this part right here, I got kind of confused because I know what you're trying to go for, but it's confusing when the type gets cut off like this. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, I get it. But it caught me off guard when it got cut off. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Okay, cool. So I would do something different with these three. I know what you're trying to go for, but I do something different because it's black background on black background, and the cutting off of the text just seems weird. But let's move on. Okay. I think I saw this, a Timothy Ricks trick. And I like how you brought it in. Cool. Like that. It's very minimal. Okay. What I would like to see, I mean, this is just me. You don't have to do it, but there it is. I was looking for a photo of you. Whoa, zooming in. That's cool. All right. Again, I would always suggest putting your photo at the beginning. That's just me. Yeah. Okay. I like how minimal it is. Projects. Cool. Yeah. I wondered. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very big. Very big. Interesting that there's a line in between. Is that on purpose? All right. Well, good job. I'm going to go back to Eli's project real quick. So, hello, Hecko. This really still resonates with me after all these years. I've done a stream with the founders, or one of the founders, talking about their webpage and how they built it. But that transition right there, bam, just so good. So good. Look at that. So you don't see where the sections start and end. There's not a hard line, but there's a fade. And to me, That's just classy. And so Eli, if you can implement that, because you go from black to white on your sections, I mean, hellohecko.com. Like, see, it just transitioned to the next section. You didn't even realize it. Look at that. Ah, so good. So good. I still love this website. Bam. Okay. Hello, Hecko. All right, next one. And thank you to Eli and Adeyi for stopping on by and letting me review your site. All right, Jordan Sinclair. How you doing? Thank you for being on the stream. Here we go. Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm driven by creativity and fueled by a love for machine learning and robotics. Okay. Okay, Jordan. I like the illustration. It gives me vibes already. And your type choice, it's giving me artist vibes. See my projects. I would make the button. Yeah, actually, no. I'm wondering why you have this inner glow to make it look like a old school Web 2.0 button. Those bevels. I wonder if you're going to reuse that throughout the page. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm going to click on projects, scrolls down. I would have, so I just missed a lot of your content. I would put a secondary or something like that, like who am I, about me, or something like that. Because if I click on this is your primary call to action right here for your hero. And so you're saying, see my projects. I click on it, I miss all that content, and now I have to scroll up to see what I missed. So I want to learn about you, Jordan. So hi, Jordan. Passionate individual. Is that a copy paste? Okay, I thought it was. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, I feel like I thought it was a copy paste, so it kind of caught me off guard. This top gap right here, I would just remove that gap. I know what you're trying to go for. No, I don't know what you're trying to go for, actually. So remove that space at the top right here, because you have that glass blur effect, but then you don't up here. Check out my projects. Okay, cool. I like how you're giving some words some pop to explain who you are. You are a lifetime learner. This is awesome. Okay, I like your hovers. So those have hovers, but these filled in ones, they don't have a hover. So wondering about that. Okay. And so what do these icons mean? Okay, so you can have all these icons, but what does it mean? You know, maybe give some context. It's like a hero or some sort of heading, H2, H3, something here that says what I love learning, what I've learned in the past, what I'm continually learning. Like, what do these icons mean? I know what they are, but what does it mean to you? I feel like this text is way too close to the top. Okay. Cards. Okay, I like the cards. I feel like the cards are loading way too slow. They can load a little bit faster. I think there's a delay, so lessen that delay. If you're going to use a style where one of the corners doesn't have a border radius, it should be consistent all throughout, because you've called that out here with this contact button, and so you have it down here, you have it up here. I would suggest choose one, because here you have it up here, you have it up here, and then you have the border radius 0 on the bottom left. So I would suggest choose one and go with it. Other than that, great job. I like the vibes. Thank you, Jordan. Moving on. Silvan. Okay, here we go. Would love feedback on my site since I've been up all night once again working on it. That's us. That's the life of a web designer. It's never done. It's never done. And then when you think it's done, you see someone else's site and you're like, my site is not done. It's a process. It's a process. Here we go. I'm going to keep it in Dutch so I get the full effect. Okay, interesting. The button is following me. Okay, I accept the cookies. Refresh. Okay, so you have a reveals. All right. Okay, so these follow me as well. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay, a little fun, a little rotation happening here. All right. Cool. All right. So again, putting an illustration or a photo of you really invites the vibe of like, this is me. This is me. And I don't like it when people hide behind text and say, this is me, but I'm not going to show who I am. But please hire me. But don't look at me. No, we're human. We're not robots. Yet? Anyways, scroll. Okay, so I'm thinking this will click and scroll me down. Okay, cool. It didn't go too far past the content. Here we go. I like this grid. Ooh, Flexbox grid. One of those. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I like the grain, the noise on this image has vibes. Yeah. This border radius is smaller. Just a little nitpick right here, this corner. If you see that little pixel. But yeah. Yeah, I like it. These cards are nice. It's like, what's that new thing? Bento.me or something? I haven't used it yet. I signed up, but I haven't used it. Okay, the rocket ship. It's conflicting with, oh, okay, never mind. Nice. Awesome. It flew. Okay. Okay. We got some scroll. Okay. I like it. I like it. And then your icons, your logo is in there, and it's scrolling too, parallax scrolling. Oh, this is nice. This parallax scrolling is nice. Great job. Okay. Okay, we got testimonials. And it's the same person. Oh, wait. It's still a work in progress. Lorem ipsum right here. Or is that Lorem ipsum? Cool. Oh, I like it. Great job. I got nothing. I like it. Yeah. Portfolio. Yeah. Great job. I got nothing. I got nothing. Proud of you. Proud of you. Oh, I love it. All right. Great job, Silvan. Okay. Last ones. Okay, here we go. Oh wow, we have a lot. Okay, we have about 18 minutes, so we're good. We're good. Here we go. From Matt. Okay. Your expert partner in payouts. Oh, typer.js. Search Webflow typer.js and you'll find a simple tutorial on how to do this kind of stuff. So if I refresh that typing, that's cool. All right. Background video, looping, awesome. Get in touch. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Zoomed and faded out with a blur. Like it. Flow. All right. Oh, okay. Horizontal scrolls. I'm into it. I'm into it. Nice. Big buttons. Nice hovers. Would it be cool if the cards did a parallax scroll? I don't know. Is that too much? Maybe subtle? Okay. Any hovers? No? No, I like it. This is clean. This is clean. I got nothing against this one. This one's nice. Oh, nice. Tabs inside of drop-down menus. See the flexibility of Webflow components? That's nice. Tabs inside of drop-downs. Let's go. This is nice. This is nice. Okay. Well, I mean, not much to say, Matt, but wow. Good job. And it's live. It's a live site. So I hope your client is happy because I'm happy. And if they're not happy, then have them talk to me and I'll be like, no, you should be happy. This is great work. All right, next one. Dan. Dan Dan Harris, very much a work in progress. First time working in Webflow. Yay! Welcome, Dan. Okay, first time working in Webflow. Let's see what you got. The 60 and Worcestershire. Yeah, Motor Club. I don't know. Saying that word is hard. All right, so here we go. Is this from scratch or a template, Dan? If you're still in the chat, this is good. Okay, cards. Nice. Okay, I would do a thing where you have a it starts out as saturation 0. So featured event. So this style like saturation. I don't know how to do it in code. How do you do that? Is it filter saturate? Oh, there you go. 0. Is that? Anyways, what I'm trying to say is this should start as black and white, and then on hover, oh, I desaturated the text, not the whole element. Let me try again. Okay, so what I want to do is filter saturate to 0. Okay, so it starts at 0 on saturation as its initial state, but when you hover, that's when it should go to color, because you have that already happening here in the hero row. So just continue that. You know what I mean? So initial state, saturate 0, and then saturate 100 or 1 on hover. It gives it more pop. All right? That's my suggestion there. But it's looking good. It's a good start. I'm not sure why you have your logo twice really quickly. I think you're going to add more content, so maybe that's why. But yeah, good start. Good start, Dan. All right, next one, Daniel Ortega. Wow, everyone wants to show off their work today. I love it. Daniel Ortega. This is the last one. Okay, here we go. Last one. And again, thank you all so much for submitting your questions, submitting your sites for me to review. I love when you show off your work, even if it's your first time, even if you've been with Webflow for 8 years, 9 years, almost 10 years. You can't go any more than 10 years. If you are, then your name is Vlad Magdalene. But yeah, we just love to see your work. All right. And don't forget, please, I want to give a shout out to each and every one of you who's in live chat. Submit your name to be on the credit roll, which we're going to roll really soon, soon after this last site review. All right. So let's get to it. Aaron, please put that link in the chat. Okay, here we go. Who's this again? Daniel. All right, here we go. He says, thank you. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay, I'm getting, if you know that gaming company, Razer, I'm getting Razer vibes right now because of the green and black. All right, and the glow effect. I like that. Cool, cool. Yeah, so everyone wants green, right? Yeah, because, you know, in charts, green is good. So I get it, I get it. That's what your drops down look like. Okay, drop downs and a little subtle hover right there. If I wasn't a web designer, I wouldn't have noticed this. My suggestion would be, instead of that top green line, what if your drop down menus had a border top of that green? So if I were to inspect, and so there's your menu right there. And so what if all of your menus had like a border top ROP, border top 1 pixel solid, bright green. Yeah, cool. Actually make that 3. Yeah, There you go. Something like that. Yeah, just thought. Just a thought. Yeah. Maybe like that. What do you think? And again, this is all just subjective. Design subjective. So if your client loves it, then who am I to judge? All right. So here we go. Scrolling down. Cool. Logos. Nice. We understand your needs and pains. My thought is these are... You're doing the tab slider thing. Yay! Good job. Okay. Good job with these. I was going to say, are these tabs? And then when I saw that progress bar, made me happy. Good job, Daniel. All right. All right. Cool. I would remove the fade in, fade out with these. No, you know what? Don't listen to me. Okay. Tabs, I knew it. Love it. See, you're doing that bottom border for these. I would say use that for your drop downs as well. All right. Okay. Sticky left column. Ooh, I like this. How this overlaps the background and gives it like a glow. Oh, you added a glow here too. Okay. I like that. Good job. So that background image is fixed, whereas these other background elements are not fixed, and it has yes. Okay, so if these have hovers, in my head, that means I should be able to click on them. Since it doesn't have a hover, since it doesn't click to anywhere, so if I'm clicking on it, it goes nowhere, remove the hovers. These are just tags. Remove the hover effect. Doesn't need them. Because hover is meant for, hey, if you click on it, something will happen. That's what hover means to me when it comes to user experience. Okay, this doesn't have a hover. So, yeah, these are backwards. No hover, hover. All right? Your text needs a hover. Anything that's clickable needs a hover. Because you're telling the user, hey, you can click on this. All right. Well, great job. And just on time. They will be clickable in the future. Oh, okay, cool. Then, again, ignore me. Ignore me. All right. Well, thank you all so much. This was fun. This was really fun. I'm glad that we all learned today about 3 tips on how to better use Webflow Interactions. A lot of people in the live chat, and speaking of which, let's go through the credit roll and see all the roles that everyone got in the live chat. All right, so here we go. Ooh, I'm excited. So let's see here. Solver of pressing problems. All right, Aaron, best boy. Yes. All right. The Lorem Ipsum creator. Okay, so J Diddy is our responsive rock star. All right. Front end Funkadelic. What? Browser Buccaneer, Digital Dream Animation HTML Hero. Awesome. Well, you all have done it. You are all part of this stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you. So if you have any other questions about Webflow, you have a design issue, interaction issue, or just want to connect with the community more, discourse.webflow.com. Post your threads there. I'm there every day trying to help as many people as I can. So let's go there after the stream, okay? If you have any technical support that you need, whereas like there's something happening with a designer, you have some account issues, billing or whatever, our wonderful support team is there 24/7 to help you out. Yes, 24/7. So go to support.webflow.com and contact them. All right. And lastly, if you haven't seen the new Webflow 101 crash course, go to university.webflow.com. New videos from the Webflow education team just dropped this morning. So check those out. And yeah, that's it. These streams happen every other Wednesday at 10 a.m. Next Wednesday, let me see in my notes here. Next Wednesday, Aaron's stream is all about 3 ways to improve your blog in Webflow. Yes, so check that out next week, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Thank you again, Aaron, for helping out in the live chat, moderating it, and posting the links. Thank you to everyone who's in live chat, or if you're watching recording, thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. Again, my name is Nelson. That's it for this stream. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.